Hi, and welcome to Prepping Essentials.
Good morning, it's 7 o'clock on Saturday the 2nd of May. Just on the way down to the land. Cool morning, but the sun's coming out. Not quite sure what we'll get done today. Lots of things I want to do. Let's find out. Well, here we are, down on the land. Geese are already flying over. A little bit breezy, a little bit cool today, but sun is forecast to come out. I guess we'll find out in due course. Everything's looking very nice. Sun is just starting to peek up over the trees through those rather grey looking clouds. Everything's as it was earlier in the week. I did pop in on, I forget what day it was now, Tuesday, Thursday, I can't remember, and just gave the plants in the polytunnel a quick water. That'll be first thing to check this morning. I have brought down a few things that I intend to get done today. Definitely won't get them all done today because there's just too much stuff, but a rare selection of bags and boxes. I'll show you some of those as we go through the day, but now I'm going to get the cabin opened up and have a little check, see what's watering in the polytunnel, and we'll take it from there. First check this morning is the polytunnel, pretty much as always nowadays. No sign of life yet on those two extra pots of peas that I put in. Equally, no sign of the pumpkin or butternut squash yet, but it is only days since I put them in, so I'm not really expecting peas. That one, what was a lonely solitary pea, has now got a friend. That I'm going to just pull out because that is a weed rather than a pea. This first pea is putting out lots of tendrils. He's already latched onto that mesh netting that I put up on the polytunnel wall, so he'll soon be scampering away up that and hopefully joined by a few more colleagues. Carrots coming on very well. I've got those 5 pots there. I'll definitely be planting some more of those so that I've got succession planting. Might do that today or tomorrow, we'll see how we get on. Cucumbers all strong and healthy, putting out the second set of leaves now, which is nice to see. Not quite sure what I'm going to do with those, whether I'm going to try and leave them in that tray or transplant a few out into one of these other trays that I've got ready to go. I'll have a little think about that. Of course, the cauliflower and broccoli that I took half of those out to put in that raised bed. They're coming on really strong and definitely need to be going out, but I have yet to organise the covers for those other 2 raised beds outside. I have got some material, new material on the way. Had hoped it would have been here by now, but this medical problem we've got with the world now is slowing everything down. Last but not least, tomatoes coming along very well. I've now got 7, look, no, I've got more. I've got 9 up by the looks of it. There's one little tiny one, another little tiny one. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I've got 10 coming up at various stages. That one's actually starting to push out its second set of leaves, which is nice. So that's a pleasant surprise. I had thought that most of those weren't going to come through when the first couple sprouted, but clearly they are. Anyway, I'm going to get cracking, get some watering done. I'll catch up with you in the cabin or maybe outside once I've done this watering. We'll see. Just having a quick look outside, and pretty much everywhere I look is blooming and blossoming. this apple tree has just amazed me, the amount of blossom that it's got going on. But pretty much everywhere else has. All of the hedgerow now is starting to blossom. Hawthorn's putting all the flowers out and filling out really nice. Another couple of years and this will be like a little dense jungle all the way around the land. Quite a wide variety of different types of hedging, including lots of wild rose. Obviously that's not flowering yet, but it's only a matter of time. All my hazelnuts that I put in along this little new hedge line here are all leafed out, and clearly you can see in the background all of those trees are putting out blossoms as well. Out in the raised bed, everything's as it should be. Nothing's been able to get under that netting and attack the plants, which are now looking really nice and strong. They're getting their own watering from the sky because we have had quite a bit of rain this week. Not torrential downpours, but enough certainly to keep these watered. I'll just need to keep an eye on weeds. And as I said earlier, I was waiting for some new netting to come for those two raised beds. Unfortunately that hasn't turned up yet. Sod's law, it's either going to turn up when I get home tonight or when I get home from work on Monday. If it comes today, I'll try and get that done tomorrow. If not, it's going to have to be next weekend. Potatoes coming on really strongly. They're going to need some more compost in there shortly to cover them up a little bit and encourage them to put on more growth, and of course more spuds underneath. And then at some point this last container is going to get something in as well, probably another crop of potatoes to follow on from those two, but we'll see how we get on. Anyway, it's a bit cool out here. I've got lots to do inside the cabin, so I'll get cracked on and I'll catch up with you with some progress a little bit later. The sun's just started quite strongly now coming over those trees, so I'm taking advantage. I've just popped out that portable solar panel just to keep that battery box that I use for charging phones and testing the power supply in the cabin charged up. I got a sneak peek at a couple of boxes this morning. That's a couple of the ones that I've brought down. These are the solar panels for the roof on the cabin. I can't drag those out and film them at the same time, so just give me 2 seconds and I'll get one of them out of the box. So what we've got in these boxes is 2 times 100 watt solar panels, and there's not a great deal to them actually. They're just a 100 watt panel each. Pop them on the roof. All that you've got round the back is a little junction box which collects the power from the solar panel itself out through 2 of these feeds. I do need some connectors to couple the 2 panels together, and then another one to take the feed down into the cabin. But mounting these on the roof, I need to put some battens on, and clearly if I'm going to mount them outside in the weather, I'll need to paint those battens before I mount them. So one of today's jobs is just measure up, find some battens that will work to support these 2 panels, give them a quick lick of paint. Hopefully I'll get those on the roof today. I guess it depends how much this sun dries out the paint. There's always a million jobs to do, and there never seems to be enough time in the day. You come down with the best intentions in the world of completing this job and completing that one, and it never works that way. It always takes longer than you think. There's always one little bit missing that you forgot. But yeah, today I'll try and get these ready for mounting on the roof. I'll do a little bit of tinkering work inside on the internal power supplies to that board where the batteries are in that away on top of that battery box, and I'll keep you up to date with progress as we go along. I've got my two battens cut to size to fit across the roof. You'll remember this from a previous video when I did the floor in the cabin. It's this waterproof floor paint. I've got a little bit left in the bottom of the tin, so it's a good excuse to get it used up rather than just leave it to waste. I do have another full tin of this, so I'm going to get it around. So I'm going to get cracking, start painting these. Hopefully the sun will dry them down today, and we'll see if I can't get them fixed on the roof before I go home. But that's the two battens painted, ready to go onto the roof to mount those solar panels. Sun is out and there's a bit of a breeze, so hopefully they should dry off fairly quickly. But it is floor paint at the end of the day, so it is going to take a few hours. I'll just check back in a couple of hours, flip them over, and then hopefully get them dried off and mounted on the roof. You might remember from last week that I did the waste pipe for the toilet and the shower. I didn't have the pipe to do the kitchen waste pipe. I have now got that, it's down here, so I just need to get that mounted onto the underside of the sink, pass it through that internal wall, and then get it out that external wall to meet up with the waste pipes that are already outside. So another little job, and at some point I'm going to have to feed some extra pipes for the cold feed for the shower and the hot feed for both the shower and the sink. So we'll see if we can manage to get that done as well today. Well, that's the waste pipe in and through the internal wall of the cabinet and then out to the outside. There's a decent fall on that pipe, so I shouldn't have any issues with the water draining away. So I'll take a little look outside now. You remember the waste pipe that I put in a week or two ago for the the toilet and the shower. I've just pulled a few more pieces outside so I can extend that, continue it on. I've also come out of the external wall of the cabin with this 20mm waste pipe from the kitchen sink. So theory is that attaches onto the side of the cabin wall with a nice little fall down. It'll continue down the side of the wall and join in with a junction on this main waste pipe. That's the theory anyway, so little bit of cutting and measuring, and we should soon have that in. So I've cut my pipe to length just to add into this tee. I've fitted another tee, swept off, same direction, and then I've just cut a small section with a 90-degree elbow just to feed it down into the ground, so we'll get those pieces together. Nice thing about these is they're just push fit with a rubber gasket on. Let's see if we can get this into here without wrecking anything. And that's in. So now we've got continuation of waste pipe. We've got a nice little elbow here, which this kitchen waste pipe will go into once I've attached it to the side of the shed. There is a little rubber grommet. I've been waiting all week for that to come. It reduces from 20mm to 40mm and just closes off the gap there in that waste pipe to prevent any water coming back. That's not arrived. Sod's Law says it's going to come Monday morning just to delay me further, but that's that waste in. I just need some kind of brackets now to hold the kitchen waste pipe on the side of the cabin. That'll drop straight into the ground for a soak away once I've dug a big hole, of course, and we'll be good to go. Well, that's the waste pipe all connected up. So toilet, shower, kitchen sink comes round from this back here. I've just siliconed that in just to keep any drafts or critters out. Didn't have any factory made clips, so I did what I've used before. I've cut down some of that plastic sheeting and screwed it on. So I've got a nice fall away there down to that joint in the 40mm pipe. As I said earlier, there is a proper factory made bung which converts 20 to 40 that will just, it's like a rubber seal that will seal that off. So as soon as I get that, I'll pop that in as well, and then it just drops down into the ground for a soak away. I do clearly need to dig out a section for that, but that's for another day. That's a job that I can do anytime and I don't need any materials for. So progress, very happy with that. Sun's beautiful today, batteries are charging away. We'll see what else we can get done today. These battens to go on the roof for the solar panels are actually drying out quite well. This upper surface that's in the sun is completely dry now, not even tacky, which is good. So I'm just going to flip those over and hopefully the other side will dry as well. Excellent. Do I test it? Oh, actually it's not too bad. I think if I give that another half hour or so, it should be good enough to put onto the roof. Got the panels outside ready. I do need to do something with those though before I can mount those. They're in like an aluminium box section frame, and clearly I need to mount these to the battens. So what I will have to do, I have done this before with the one that's on my shed roof at home, a little bit dangerous. I need to drill through the side of the panels into the frame so that I can mount some little brackets on, which will then screw into those wooden battens. So I'm just going to have a very quick drink. I've brought some coffee down with me, and have a little think and think again because I definitely don't want to do anything I shouldn't with the drill when I start drilling into these panels. So yeah, I'll let you know how I get on with that later. When it comes to mounting those solar panels, these are the brackets that I'm using. Just simple angle brackets, nice and small. Single hole into the panel, single hole into the batten that holds them down. For the panel, rather than trying to screw through an aluminium frame, I've got these bolts. So I'll drill holes in the sides of the panel frame, mount the bolts and the brackets onto the panels, and then simply, I say simply because it won't be, they'll be ready mounted on the panels then to just drop straight onto the battens and just drill through into the battens on the roof. That's the theory anyway. As always, we'll see what happens in practice. I'm a bit nervous about those panels. I have done it before on the panel at home. It's mounted in the exact same way. But yeah, they're not cheap, those panels, so I am nervous a little bit. That's the holes drilled, 2 in each end. I just need to get these brackets attached now and we'll be good to go. And then of course there's panel number 2 to do. Well, that's the brackets mounted onto the first panel. It's a little bit fiddly because as the bolt goes through there is like a folded lip, so it's difficult to get your fingers in there to put the spring washers and the normal washers on, but it's done on both sides or both ends, so let's crack on and get that second one done. Bit fiddly, but that's the second one done. Brackets installed. That wood that I've used for the battens, the paint has actually dried now. It's not even tacky, which is good. So time to get some step ladders out and see if I can get some battens on that roof. That's going to be a little bit of a challenge because my step ladders do not go that high, but we've managed before, so I'm sure we'll manage again. Well, that's the battens on, ready for supporting the panels. Just need to get the panels on and we'll be good to go. Well, that's the 2 panels up. I've got them both feeding in to junctions, so you end up with one set of cables coming out. That just needs then an extension cable coming off those 2 terminals there, through the side of the cabin and down to the solar charger that I put up the other day. So that's not looking too bad now, and they're both in full sun despite the best efforts of those trees, and we're just gone lunchtime, so I know that certainly from the sun peeking out from those trees I'm going to get sun all day on those. Well, it's another beautiful day today. We are going to get rain later, it is forecast, and you can probably tell by the clouds actually that it's coming. But I just thought I'd take a break. It's gone 11:30 already, so I thought I'd stop and have a quick cup of coffee. I am pleased with the progress today, particularly having got those panels up on the roof. I'm resisting the temptation to cut a hole through the side of the cabin now, because I do need one more connector and it's not turned up yet. Sod's law. So I'll not do that, but there are plenty of other things I can be getting on with in the cabin. But for now I'm just going to sit for 5-10 minutes, drink the coffee, soak up the sun and enjoy this beautiful day out on the land. Just thought I'd show you quickly where the solar panel power feed comes in. It comes in and goes into these end connectors on this charge controller that I put up last weekend. I've just quickly added a little feed out of there so I can mount this 12 volt power supply socket onto the wall there. Loads to do down in the cupboard where the solar power will go down to the batteries. I'll start looking at that in a minute. Time is whizzing by, and there was one other thing I wanted to try and get done today, so I'm in two minds now as to what to do, whether to carry on with solar electrics or whether to do something else. I guess you'll find out in a minute. You keep getting sidetracked. This shower, you might remember in a previous video I talked about putting some kind of support batten across there to mount the taps, and that's just what I'm fiddling with now. I've got a piece of ply which will go across that gap. I've just been marking out for where the taps go. I need to cut some holes through the ply, and then I can mount these taps. Obviously swap out the hot and cold feeds because they're just as they were sent to me with the ends cut off, so I need to take those pipes off there. Bit of a fiddly job, but it's a therapeutic job. Well, that's the holes cut out, so all that remains now is to test mount the taps. Well, that's the shower taps mounted onto that board. Fastened around the back, so then I just need to put the hot and cold feed pipes onto the end here, Jubilee clip those on, and we're good to go. Shower taps mounted onto the board. Still a couple of bits and pieces to do on there. I'll need to go into the cupboard under there, cut some holes through to feed the hot and cold pipe through. Plus, of course, I will need to mount that board on the inside here. Bear in mind that I've got to be careful when I mount this board, because over the top of it is going to be a plastic sheet running all the way floor to ceiling, and indeed all the way around the shower area. That shop still isn't open, it's still on lockdown, so I can't do that for a while yet, but we're making slow progress with it, but at least it is progress, and we'll eventually have a working shower. If you've been watching the cabin build videos for any length of time, you'll know that I said when I was building the storage unit there that I was reserving a space in the corner for something. I'd give that reveal, so I'll do that right now. If you've been watching my videos for a long time, you'll have seen this. I actually got it as a gift probably about, God, I don't really know, September, October, back in the last year anyway. And it's an Outbacker portable camping stove, which is very lovely, and thank you to Lee for that. One of my boys gave it to me as a gift. Now clearly you can use this any way you want. It's for when you actually go camping. But the idea is I'm going to install it permanently over in this corner. That's the plan. I'll not get a full installation done today because I need to put something on the floor. I've got some stainless steel as well to mount on the wall, just to make sure. I don't think it would ever burn the wall, but never say never. Better to be cautious than not. So yeah, this is it. Little Outback camping stove. All the bits are inside, still in the wrappers, ready to go. That's the top bit for outside, the spark arrestor for the top of the chimney. Loads and loads and loads of bits, various elbows for the chimney pieces themselves. lots and lots of bits to self-assemble. The tricky bit really, mounting it on the floor, I can screw it down, is not difficult. The difficult bit is going to be working out where the chimney goes up on that outside wall. So I'll start taking everything out so that it's ready to assemble, and you can catch up with me in a few minutes, hopefully. Well, that's the little wood burning stove assembled. I've stuck that stainless steel plate just behind it in the corner there. I don't think it's absolutely necessary, to be honest, but you never know, I guess. So it's there just in case. The only issue now really is trying to figure out where this chimney stack can go out of the side wall. To be honest, it could have done with being a bit closer to a wall to get some support brackets on it. So I'm going to have to figure out a way of supporting the chimney. It does self-support to a degree, but again, it's just a bit of caution. And the real big issue is trying to figure out where I can bring the pipe out, because at the minute it's somewhere around here, this top corner, somewhere around there. And I don't really want to be drilling a hole in the side of the cabin and then finding that it's wrong. So a little bit of trial and experiment required for this. These dark clouds are really moving in quick now. If you look that way, there's still quite a bit of blue sky and quite a lot of sun actually. But as you look that way to the north, yeah, we've definitely got some rain clouds moving in. So I don't think it'll be long before I'm getting wet. Well, that's the stove in. It's not looking too bad. Hole is cut through the outside wall. I'm just rough fitting this for now, just to see how it looks. That pops out of there, clears the roof, which is good. I have got some flashing kits to go over the holes on the inside and the outside. Just need to dig those out and figure out how they go. Obviously just rough fitting for now to make sure I can do what I think I can with it. So the time is whizzing by, it's gone 2 o'clock already. Don't know where the day's going, but as always you start doing these jobs and it takes longer than you think. Well, that's the flashing gasket put over the outside, and let's pop inside. I can't believe how quick the time's going. It's unbelievable. There's the other one. So it's in. I guess the only question now is, will it work? So let's have a little look. We've got a fire going, and I don't see any obvious smoke coming out of the chimney on the inside, so that's a good sign. Let's take a little look outside. Flowing the plan here because the wind is, if you can see on that tree, the wind is kicked up, so I can't actually see the smoke coming out the chimney. It clearly is, but I just can't see it because of the wind. Well, I guess we'll soon find out if the cabin fills up with smoke or not. But it seems to be going okay. Let's have a little look on this. Well, it's burning away okay inside, so it must be content. And I don't see anything anywhere on the chimney. I'll take a little look outside again. Yeah, the wind is... oh, you can see smoke actually. Well, I don't know if you can or not. Now the wind's picked up again. When the wind drops, you can see the smoke. When the wind picks up, it disappears. But it is definitely drawing. I can see it. I'm just not sure if you can on this video. So that's good. We have a wood burning stove installed. And just looking at the roof line, that plastic sheet, there is enough clearance on there. I don't think it's going to heat up. And I can see more smoke coming out now, so it is definitely drawing. So that's good. Time, as usual, is whizzing by. I'm going to have to start thinking about getting packed up. I've brought my battery box in. I just need to bring that solar panel in and have a tidy up. I've got loads of crap outside now. Wood pile also needs covering over before this wind hits. I'll take one last look at the polytunnel as well while that fire's burning. In fact, I'll go do that now. I just need to open up because with the wind I've had the door shut. Just give me a second and we'll go inside. You get a blast of hot air when you open that door. It is roasting in here. Surprising, really. Everything appears to be okay. Maybe the broccoli, because I think it's got a bit too warm today. And it is almost a day now since I watered it. I watered it first thing this morning, about 7:30. So I'll do that. I'll give it a quick water, pack everything up, tidy away, and then I'll be off. Well, that's the cabin locked up, everything put away. Still lovely sunshine, but can you see the black clouds? Oh, and can you see the smoke, I wonder? There is a little bit of wood still burning in that stove, but it's quite safe. There's not enough in there to get any raging infernos. Wood piles put away. I better just move those pallets actually as well when I leave. Don't want to tempt fate. But yeah, everything's locked away, ready to go. Oh, one thing I will show you before I do go. You know me by now, there's always one last thing. Do you remember last year when I was cutting the grass and I kept talking about mole hills and I wasn't sure if it was moles or ants? It definitely is ants. This is fresh. You can see the difference in colour between the baked stuff that's been there for a long time and this fresh stuff that the ants are digging up now. So it is definitely ants that's doing this. Not quite sure. I don't know if you can see the ant or not. There they go, look, there's loads of them scurrying around the place. Yeah, I don't know what the solution is for this. If anybody does know what I can do to try and get rid of these, but judging from the number of these hills all around the field, there must be billions and billions and billions. You can see on that one there as well, look, light patch, dark patch where the fresh earth has been dug out. Same on that one. So if anybody has got tips on what to do with ants, do let me know, because they've clearly started to burrow again. Anyway, that's it. I'm packed up, I'm ready to go. I shall see what I can get done tomorrow, but for now, that's it for today, and I'll see you later.
Well, that's it for this video. I hope you found something in there that was of interest to you. If you did like the video, please do click on the like button. Also feel free to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. As always, welcome any comments, questions or suggestions you might have. How's it all looking? Quite a bit done today. You'll have to let me know what you think. But for now, thanks for watching. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.